Now, this is something that you must bear in mind. There's a difference between possibility and probability. It's highly improbable. You can say that I'll end up by telling a true story. There was a gentleman who was in the CBI, which is equivalent to our FBI. He was the number 2 man there. He got a huge file. It was about export of mangoes. And he said, I'm a police officer. Why should I be bothered about export of mangoes? And why should the file be so huge? It happened because Jawaharlal Nehru got this, somebody sent him beautiful mangoes from Alfonso mangoes from Bombay. And he said, it's very tasty. You should consider exporting it. And 18 years later, it went to the equivalent to the FBI, saying this, consider the possibility of smuggling and whatever it is of mangoes, because if it is exported, these things can happen. I do not know in those years any mangoes were exported from India or not. But the fact is, so many people had such a big file to operate upon. They all were busy, but nobody was thinking of the fundamental issue, namely that mangoes had to be exported. Similarly, we have got a system where we have to run elections with more than 700, 800 million voters on the rolls, and here is a system that seems to work. I am sure it will have a lot of problems. For example, they said that the display system can be damaged. So we have changed now. We have suggested we must make some changes. I think the Election Commission has accepted it, so that it will not be possible for anybody to change it without damaging it. Because then the machine gets damaged. Once you want to change anything, the machine gets damaged. So there are, similarly, for example, the cable. It was an ordinary cable earlier till about a few years ago. Now we changed the cable. There were connected to the two machines by some simple screws. The connectors at the two ends, they were connected with simple screws. Now they are all sealed. So as and when the complaints are made, which we think there is something that should be done, the Election Commission, I find, they do react. They do take changes. They do make changes. But if you were to say, now look, we are going to change the whole system, that, I think, is a highly improbable one. This is my personal view. Things it may be possible, I do not know, but I do not think it is probable. And therefore, we have to work in a system where you can make elections work. And there are many people who can talk of all sorts of problems that could occur, but then, is it possible? Is it probable? Now, these are the kinds of things that one should bear in mind. Please remember, if you want to escape a nuclear holocaust, the best way is you become a cockroach. Then you will be able to survive much better than others. Maybe it's possible. I do not know what will happen, but I think it's highly improbable.